Hello, babes. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. So in this episode breakdown, we're diving into Miss Carrie Bradshaw, her stalking tendencies, lack of boundaries, her inability to take no for an answer, Samantha's small problem with the man she's dating, and Miranda sleeping with a Catholic man who is struggling with lust and religion. So let's get into it. Welcome to Iconically Iconic. So the episode opens up with Miranda sleeping with a Catholic man who has no problem in engaging in casual sex, but immediately showers afterward, clearly grappling with guilt. I think they should have dived into this just a little bit more. They treated the conflict superficially, but it could have been explored for a little bit about men in religious spaces who wrestle with their desires while simultaneously condemning others. His guilt stemmed from his faith and upbringing, but instead of acknowledging that, he projected it onto Miranda. I've just never liked how these shows depict religion because it often feels like it's in a negative light and to target rather than an opportunity for genuine understanding and compassion. So in the next scene, Carrie is strolling past a church, and while strolling past, she spots Big escorting an older woman, his mother, into a taxi. Naturally, when Big sees her, he walks over to say hello. She asks who the mystery woman is, and when he tells her, her mind immediately fixates on meeting her, which she tells the girls when they meet up.
I'm dying to meet his mother. Can you imagine?
Now, girl, why? You've been dating this man for what, 2 or 3 months? Not really sure of the time frame, but I know it wasn't for more than a few months. You have not been with this man long enough to want to meet his mother. You're in the very early stages of dating, my dear. And I've never understood why some women feel this incessant push to meet a man's parents. If he wanted you to meet his parents or mother, he would have arranged it. And let's be real, if a man is quick to introduce you to his mother, it more than likely holds no real significance. In the next scene, Charlotte is visiting a psychic after Samantha tells the girls she may be in love with the guy she met and would even marry him.
Who knows where we'd be?
Wait, you haven't had sex yet?
So, I think he's someone I could actually marry.
Samantha, that's great.
Now, the way I rolled my eyes at Charlotte's desperation, no one can predict your future. Sure, they can say it, but that doesn't make it reality. And as we later see, Charlotte gets married. Over dinner, Carrie tells Big she wants to start going to church because she just has to be involved in every part of his life. Look, this is unhealthy in any relationship, but especially something as intimate as faith that he shares privately with his mother. Because you don't genuinely want to go to church. You want to go as a means to meet and get close with his mother.
I want to go to church with you and your mommy. How about this Sunday?
Well, it's just a private little thing my mother and I do, just the two of us. Oh.
Big tells her it's something that he shares with his mother and sets his boundaries. And predictably, Carrie pouts because for her, any boundary is an obstacle she simply refuses to accept. There are some things like going to church with your parents that are sacred. They don't need to be shared with a boyfriend or girlfriend. That is not the time to impose and feel entitled to something as special as that. Big asks Carrie if she wants to go to St. Bart's with him and that it's on him. Yes, girl, we love a tropical vacation. Miranda and the Catholic guy she's dating sleep with one another yet again, and she decides to say something in an attempt to make him feel better, and this man loses it.
There's nothing sinful about sex.
Oh, really? Well, thanks for clearing that up. And what is that, the gospel according to Miranda? What are you going to tell me next? That God made the body? And if God made the body, and sex is an expression of that body, how can anything made by that God-made body be considered sin?
Well, yeah.
It's a miracle! I'm healed! Oh, you're free to go work with the lepers now. I guess this means I'm not going to hell. Great news! Thank you, Miranda. Thank you for saving my immortal soul. I'm gonna go take a shower. When I come out, I'd kind of like it if you weren't here.
You got it.
Sir, please, all of those showers you take aren't going to change anything but loosening up the little bit of brain cells you still have left. Samantha and Pinky are about to get busy, and honey, my girl Samantha is highly disappointed and dissatisfied when his love below is lacking. In the next scene, in typical Carrie fashion, she doesn't care about Big telling her he doesn't want to bring her to church with him. Oh no. Instead of respecting what Big told her, she and Miranda show up at the church uninvited, and Miranda was only there for moral support. And Carrie, looking tacky, may I add, she didn't even wear her Sunday best. The spearmint striped dress, the Barney purple bag,
Hey, what is this, honey?
Oh girl, she looked like she rushed getting dressed. Miranda was dressed way more appropriate, and she didn't even care to be there. This man specifically told you it's a moment for just he and his mother, and you somehow think you're so special and important that him setting a boundary with you doesn't exist. If a man ever showed up somewhere that I was with my mother after I specifically told him not to, it would tell me everything I need to know about him. And one is that he is a creep, and two, you have a lack of respect for me. Of course, Carrie makes a scene dropping a Bible in the middle of service. Girl, now how did the Bible slip out of your hand? Now, if I didn't know better, I'd think she did that on purpose because Miranda wanted to leave, but Carrie needed Big to see her. After the service, Carrie insists on sticking around to meet Big's mother, despite Miranda urging her to leave. Carrie really had no good sense or common sense. And when Big finally introduces her, it's as a friend. Naturally, Carrie is offended that his mother doesn't know who she is.
Aren't you the young lady who made all that noise?
Slippery gloves. Morning.
Good morning.
It's a lovely church.
Yes, isn't it?
Don't you think it's lovely?
Mother, this is my friend Carrie.
Here's the thing. Grown men don't introduce every single woman they date to their mothers unless it's serious, which makes sense. And we all know Big was anything but. Carrie, however, doesn't take the hint. She awkwardly emphasizes that she's Carrie.
Carrie.
I'm just going to go and say goodbye to the pastor.
Girl, if she knew you, she would have said something. She doesn't know you.
You show up at church after I asked you not to. What are you trying to do, test me? I mean, why all of a sudden interest in meeting my mother?
Well, has the woman ever even heard of me?
My mother doesn't need to meet another girlfriend.
Oh.
I didn't mean that. I mean, I'll introduce you as my girlfriend when I'm sure.
Oh.
Look, I have to do things on my time frame.
Time frame? We've been going out for months. I really don't know what else to say to you.
We'll get there. You just have to have a little faith.
Faith?
This moment perfectly encapsulates one of Carrie's biggest flaws, and that's her tendency to ignore every red flag in favor of what she wants to be true instead of reality. She constantly pushes boundaries and then plays victim when things don't go her way. And a major problem was that her friends weren't brutally honest with her. They always treated her like she was a baby. Maybe it's because I'm a Taurus, but I believe in loving and supporting your friends while also keeping it real with them. And if they can't respect that, then the friendship doesn't need to proceed, because I am not a yes man. And if I can't be honest with you, I am not faking the funk to please you and be around people who have no accountability. And I am not about to be an enabler. When you have people who coddle you and never tell you the truth, you end up like Carrie, stuck in the same cycle for years, which is evidently true, seeing as that is how she is still acting on. And just like that, the girls go out clubbing, and my girl Sam is going through it, crying in the bathroom stall, crying in bed. It was just a mess. But it also made me laugh because even in moments like this, she just makes you laugh.
How small?
Too small.
Well, size isn't everything.
3 inches.
Well,
Hard.
I also can't include that conversation because it's explicit. When Big arrives to pick Carrie up for their trip, she tells him she needs a sign that she's the one.
I need a sign. I mean, he told me to have faith, but see, I'm kind of losing mine, so I need a sign.
What, like in those old religious movies, you want a voice from above?
Just tell me I'm the one. Come on, you don't have to tell your mother or the whole world. Just tell me.
If you have to ask for a sign, You already know the answer. Big liked Carrie because she was fun, spontaneous, and different from the women he typically dated. But she was also neurotic, insecure, lacked boundaries, and acted out when things didn't go her way. And while we all love a little adventure, someone you can be yourself and have fun with, if it comes with 80% drama and 20% fun, it's not worth it. This is why so many people stay in toxic relationships. They cling to those fleeting, happy moments and ignore the bigger picture. Big made Carrie question her worth, but the truth is she allowed it. Now, in a moment of clarity, she tells Big she can't keep doing this, not knowing where she stands with him.
Carrie, in the car, please.
I can't. I love you, but I can't.
And good for her. But the problem was she never kept the same energy. I think Carrie suffered from arrested development because she never really matured. The writers definitely kept Carrie stunted as a character. In season 6, they allowed her to mature, but then went right back into dragging Big in the mix and just, yeah. A lot of women ignore when a man is telling them exactly who he is. Instead of accepting it, they convince themselves they can change him, mold him into what they want. But that's not how it works. I think when a woman grows up without strong male role models or mentors, she can end up like a Carrie, constantly seeking male validation, not knowing her worth, and struggling with low self-esteem, in which it's understandable to an extent why Carrie behaved the way she did. She didn't have a father figure to teach her what she should and shouldn't tolerate from men, so she settled for the bare minimum, thinking that was normal. Even women who have present loving fathers sometimes pick the wrong guy, but the difference is there are certain things we won't tolerate. When you've seen what a good man looks like, you recognize when a man simply isn't measuring up. That being said, there is a difference between making mistakes in your teens and early 20s versus carrying the same toxic patterns in your 30s, 40s, and beyond. At some point, you have to take accountability. Heal the broken little girl and break the cycle. You deserve happiness, real love, and someone who cherishes you. Not someone you have to chase, convince, or fix. And with that being said, this video has come to an end. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure your notification bells are turned on so that you always know when I upload. And I will catch you guys in the next one.